Welcome to the Black Entrepreneur Experience podcast, inside the business, buzz, and brilliance of Black entrepreneurs. Here is your host, Dr. Frances Richards.
What happens in Vegas goes all over the world on Black Entrepreneur Experience, episode 127. Thank you for joining us as we elevate the Black Entrepreneur Experience by interviewing CEOs, thought leaders, innovative thinkers, and Black entrepreneurs across the globe. I'm your host, Dr. Frances Richards. Would you like a Band-Aid that matches the shades of your brown skin? Browndages is the brainchild of husband and wife duo Rashid and Intisar Bashir. Intisar is joining us today, and their hopes is Browndages will become a household name and serve as a positive inspiration for your children. Welcome, Intisar. How are you?
I'm well. Thank you for having me.
You know, I've given our audience such a brief bio about you. Why don't you fill in the gaps and share with our audience what you'd like us to know about you and your company?
Okay. We just launched. We've been around for about 6 months. We launched in November 2018. It was an idea that my husband and I had, and we kind of just ran with it from there. We have 3 small children, 9, 7, and 3. They go through a lot of bandages, as do most children. And they had gotten to the age where they'd started wanting the bandages that had images on them. And it would be the princesses and the superheroes and stuff like that. And so we had already talked a few times between my husband and I about starting a bandage company that had different shades of brown that just represented the different shapes of brown within our family. And once they got to the age where they were wanting the images on their bandages, we were like, well, hey, none of the images out there look like them, or they're not images that they can actually grow up and aspire to be. So we decided to take our idea of the brown bandages and expand it a little bit more by adding the children's lines that have images of brown children in professions that they can actually aspire to.
Tell us about bringing this product to market. How did the process go? Was that real difficult?
I would say it wasn't as difficult as it probably would have been without the help of a really good family friend of my family's, Malik Salim. He is part owner of the True detergent product line, and he has a wealth of knowledge when it comes to manufacturing your own products. So once we had this idea, I knew immediately who I needed to speak with. So I reached out to him, and he was more than helpful in helping us along this process.
Tell us what problem that exists in the world today, Intisar, that you would like to solve.
Wow, that's an interesting question. There's several problems. I'm a big family person, and my children, I have a 9 and a 7-year-old daughter and a 3-year-old son. And one of the issues that we've had with them is just the issue of inclusion, feeling like they belong in whatever space that they are in. So that's something that we are passionate about letting all children have that feeling of comfort and being accepted in whatever space they are, seeing the representation of themselves in non-traditional spaces.
And you know what's amazing? Here it is, 2019, and we're still having this conversation about acceptance and inclusion, and individuals feeling comfortable in their environment and people embracing the skin that we're in, right?
Yes.
Tell us about Intisar starting the business, and what was that aha moment that you knew that you were onto something and you guys were going to be successful?
Like I said, we launched in November of 2018, and we launched our product at the first annual We Buy Black convention that was held in Atlanta, Georgia. We had our product shipped directly to Atlanta. The first day that we saw our products in our hand was the first day we were introducing it to the world. And we got such a warm and embracing feeling from the attendees of that convention. And that was when we said, okay, we might actually be onto something. This is actually a product that is needed within our community, that people like they were just it was really amazing that we would get people from, just a broad age range. We had older people who were like, all my life, I've never had a bandage that blended in with my skin. It was things that they thought about, but they never saw it out there on the market. So it was a wonderful experience of ours. And that's when we knew, like, okay, we might actually have something that we can continue to grow within our community.
And 6 months into the business, how is things going for you?
Things are going really well. We are happy with the progression that we are making. Our sales are mainly online as an e-commerce site, but we're getting to the point where a lot of people are reaching out to us for wholesale purchases so that they can carry our product line in their stores. So far, we have a chain of salons in Atlanta, Georgia, the Just for Girls salon. They carry our products. There is a store in Portland, Oregon, actually, that just made a purchase as well. So it's just a wonderful feeling to know that people are wanting to sell our products in their stores.
You talk about being a risk taker, that you guys land at a convention, and the first time you are actually selling your product, you opened it out of the box.
Yes.
So that's really a risk taker. Tell me about that experience.
It was exciting. It was very, very exciting. I followed the platform We Buy Black on Instagram for a while. I knew that when we had the idea to start our company, Browndages, that would be the perfect marketplace for us. They have an online marketplace where they just sell only products from Black-owned businesses. And so when they announced that they were going to be having their inaugural convention in Atlanta, we pushed to have our products to market for that convention. So it was just an amazing feeling to get there. We actually drove, my whole family, my husband, myself, and my 3 children. We drove from Columbus to Atlanta. We got there early in the morning. The convention started at, I believe, like 9 a.m. Our boxes were there. We opened them up. It was just a really exciting moment for our family.
Now tell our audience, and I know that you said you support We Buy Black and their platform. Is that conference every year?
Yes, last year in November 2018 was their inaugural one. It was the first time they had it, but the second one is scheduled. I believe it's for the weekend of August 23rd, 24th, and 25th in Atlanta, and it'll be the second annual one. And we do intend to vend at that because we were just so well received at that event. It was ran very well, was very professionally done. Everything was smooth. So it was like a big, almost like a family reunion, really. It was just, everyone there was just so nice and welcoming, and the support amongst the vendors, it was just amazing.
So tell us, who is your ideal client?
Our ideal client, I would say it was people who, similar to my family. There's children that are always going to fall down and get hurt. And in my family, the bandages always dried up the tears faster than anything else that we could do almost. So it's like the response that we've gotten from our customers when their children see our bandages and see that they actually blend into their skin tone, or that they actually have images on them that look like them. It's just a wonderful and heartwarming to hear that from our customers.
I think what you're doing is amazing. I would look at, which you probably have already thought about this, but I would look at getting my Band-Aids in like group homes or foster homes, hospitals.
Yes, yes, yes. We've definitely been working to get the word out there. We've been in contact with some, like a chain of daycare providers to get our bandages within their system of daycares, or reaching out to like the local school systems to figure out what the process is to become a vendor with them so that they can carry our bandages in their nurses' offices and whatnot. So yes, I appreciate those suggestions. I'm writing them down. We're definitely looking to get our line of products into whatever facilities that could find value in them.
So, Intisar, do you come from an entrepreneurial background or from your education for you to run a successful business? Can you share that?
Sure. My education is not in the field of business. I went to Smith College in Massachusetts. I have a degree in computer science. But in my home life, my father was an entrepreneur. All my life, he worked for himself. He had, and still to this day, he does. He owns his own men's clothing and shoe store. And so that's always been a dream of mine to own a business as well. I never knew in what avenue of business, but I always knew that I wanted to own a business.
And what about your husband? In his family, is there a line of entrepreneurs or his background?
His degree is in biology, so he's not, his education is not in business as well. And no, he does not, he comes from a line of educators, so that he doesn't have the entrepreneurial push from his family, like his parents or whatnot, but he sees how my father has run our family. And so I think he definitely sees the value in being able to own your own part of this world.
Tell us what you are most grateful for right now in your life.
I am definitely most grateful for my family, that not just my immediate family, but my extended family as well. I have a wonderful, supportive husband, 3 children that keep me on my toes, but more importantly, I have a mother and father and a father-in-law and a mother-in-law who are extremely supportive of us and our dreams and whatever endeavors we are moving towards at the moment. So I'm truly blessed in that way.
And that is amazing. And it is great to have wonderful family, extended and immediate family that's supporting you. You talked about family. So how do you balance, or if, I don't know, some people don't like the word balance, but how do you balance your family, your business, and life?
I heard this somewhere. I'm not sure where it was, but it's definitely not a balance. It's a give and a take. It's like you decide at what given moment what is going to get your most attention, and that may change from day to day, hour to hour. You never know. So my husband and I, we both work full-time jobs as on top of running this business, on top of having our 3 children and maintaining a somewhat healthy, family work-life balance, as they call it. But yeah, it's just a give and a take. And on some days, I may do more work for Browndages than my husband does, but that might mean that he's giving more to the children that day. So it's more of a balance between him and I than just the individuals of work or the kids or life.
Right. And I think the word that I was looking for was not balance, but work-life inclusion, right? So we
Yes,
like
ma'am.
to just include that. So I appreciate that. So tell us, what is the one impact that you want this interview to give to our audience?
That no matter how small you think your ideal is, like just do it. Like give it your all. Like some people wouldn't think that a bandage is that important. But you would be surprised at the amount of feedback that we've gotten from our customers, from people. Like, we've done multiple vending things, and we've actually been able to meet face to face with a lot of our customers, and how excited they are just to see a bandage that is the same color as their skin tone. Like, it's amazing that we can, with a bandage, touch so many people.
Now, Intisar, you had mentioned you're in Ohio, right? Are you in Cleveland?
I'm in Columbus.
Columbus. Okay, so and I know we talked about Atlanta, and we know that is like an amazing city to launch. Mm-hmm. How is Columbus for launching your business?
It's definitely not matched to Atlanta. We're still finding our footing here as far as finding different vending opportunities. We've actually done quite a bit of traveling to vend. I actually just last month, maybe about 2 weeks ago, I was back in Atlanta vending at the Talia Wadjet World Natural Hair Show. So Atlanta definitely has the plus of having many vending opportunities and conventions that are geared toward our community, that we are able to expose our company to like thousands of people at one time. So we're definitely not. We have no problem in traveling to get to different places. And I know actually next weekend I'll be going to Washington, D.C. to vend at the second annual Momfrance. It's a conference that is specifically geared toward Black moms. And I was like, well, if that's not my ideal market, I don't know what is.
That is amazing. And I've never heard of that. How did you find out about that conference?
Instagram. And I tell you, I don't know where would we be in our business at this point without the use of social media. Like, it's been able to get us all. We've shipped orders from Abu Dhabi in the United Arab Emirates all the way to Norway. Like, it's amazing the reach that you have with social media. And that's how I came across the Momfrance. I came across them and I was like, oh, that's nice. I was like, but that's in DC. But I followed some other entrepreneurs on Instagram as well. And they mentioned that, like, one of the ways to move your business along is to find your target market. And I was like, okay, well, our target market, moms and dads of children of color. And when I heard about this conference and the fact that they were offering vending at it, I was like, well, I think that is our ideal target market. Like, it'll be a convention full of, I think it's going to be 300 plus moms. So it'll be 300 plus Black moms in one space. And I'm like, if that's not the perfect place to then, I don't know what is. So I reached out to them. We applied for vending. I bought my plane ticket. I booked my hotel, and God willing, I'll be there next weekend.
Excellent. And what a way to celebrate the weekend after Mother's Day.
Yes, definitely. I'm definitely looking forward to not just the opportunity to expose our business to those moms of color, but to meet them myself. Like, I am an African-American mother and I have African-American children. And it's like, just to be in a space where I see myself, well, I'm sure that'll do wonders for my spirit as well.
You talked about social media. Can you share another technology tool or a technology platform that is a must-have for you in managing your business day to day?
Yes, our website is hosted on the Shopify platform. And so I have the Shopify app downloaded on my phone. I have Outlook mobile on my phone, and without those two apps, just because like I said, I work a full-time job. I have 3 children, and just the convenience of being able to manage emails and get updated on my phone whenever a new order comes in. So I know that, okay, I need to take the time to sit down and process this order, because one of our goals in our business is to have excellent customer service and response time to our customers and quick shipping. So it's a wonderful tool to have both our email and our platform software on our cell phones so that it's with us at all times.
So talk about self-care and give us your tips and strategies for self-care.
Self-care. Let's see. Part of my self-care is going to be, next weekend, I'm going to DC. I'm going by myself. So my kids aren't coming. My husband's not coming. So I combine my self-care with a little bit of work. So I'll get a hotel room and I'll be there by myself the whole night. And I'll be able to just relax and think and not have to take care of everyone else. So that's my self-care. I don't necessarily need to go to a spa or get my nails done, but just like some downtime, some alone time for myself is how I really recharge.
Absolutely. And tell us, what is the one word that would best describe who you are?
One, that's tricky because I wear many hats. One word that would best describe myself. I think a mom. At the end of the day, the word mom would best describe me. It's an all-encompassing kind of job. It's like you're the bringer of bad news sometimes, you're the bringer of good news sometimes. Your kids will always, one minute they love you, one minute they're not so happy with you. And it's all been a very interesting journey that through all the ups and downs, I've enjoyed it immensely.
You mentioned you and your husband, you're currently working as well as running the business. Are you two working in a field closely related to your business?
No, not at all. I actually work in computer networking, and my husband works in logistics.
Is that logistics related to computers?
No, like in terms of he works at a warehouse and getting trucks loaded up with the product and scheduling trucks, and he's the logistic manager over a warehouse here in Columbus.
Okay. And all of that experience is going to be beneficial in the long run.
Yes, it definitely would. It definitely helps with our organization. It helped when we were getting our product. Like, we don't have a warehouse. Like I said, we just launched in March. So he figured out the logistics of getting our product delivered to our home. All of our experience combined is definitely going to help us out in the long run.
And when you had the product manufactured, is it manufactured in the USA or out of the country?
It's manufactured out of the country, yes, ma'am.
All right. Now, how do you keep your happiness throughout the journey with you wearing so many different hats?
I keep my happiness by just sometimes taking a step back and realizing truly how blessed I am to be able to, like I said, I always knew I wanted to own a business. I didn't necessarily know growing up what type of business, but take a step back and realize, on those busy days when we have hundreds of orders to fill and it's late at night and we'd rather go to sleep, just truly how blessed I am to be living the dream that I had when I was a child of running my own business.
Do you guys involve the kids at all in the business?
We definitely do. Whenever they show interest, we usually get them to help us pack orders because, like I said, it's just my husband and I. We don't have any employees or anything like that. So every order that comes in, we actually process and package it ourselves. So on some of those days when we have hundreds of orders that come in, we definitely get the help of at least my 9-year-old daughter and my 7-year-old daughter. My 3-year-old son, he hasn't gotten to the age where we exactly could use his help, but we definitely involve them. I know when we launched at the We Buy Black conference last year, our daughters were instrumental in going around and bringing business to us. They would take our flyers around and say, hey, check out our booth. So they're definitely excited to help when given the opportunity.
Now, what is one valuable lesson you wish you knew before starting your business?
A lesson that I knew before starting our business is that you definitely have to have thick skin, because for all of the wonderful, wonderful customers that we've come across and we've done business with, there always will be one or two people who are just negative. And it's just, we had to learn that you just have to, toughen up a little bit. Don't take everything personally. Everything isn't for everybody. We understand that our brand is just not for everybody, and that's okay. And so once we came to that realization, like, we've been able to move forward much easier.
And what would you say, Intisar, is the biggest achievement so far in your business?
Our biggest achievement thus far is getting to the point we're actually going to have to make another order. Like, just that was it may seem small, but like our initial order, like it was rather large. And we're getting to the point where we're like, okay, we should probably consider placing another order, because we don't want to get to the point where we'll be sold out or anything like that. And we have a few vending opportunities that are coming up over the summer that we want to make sure that we're well stocked, and also to be able to continue to cover our online orders and our wholesale orders as well.
And what has been your biggest challenge of being an entrepreneur?
Our biggest challenge thus far is just making time for us. Like, I don't know. I guess that goes back to that balance that we were talking about. Like, last weekend was my middle daughter's birthday, and we just decided to pick up and go to Cincinnati for the weekend, and said we'll deal with the orders when we get back. And so that was a decision, because we had quite a few orders that came in on Friday, but we decided no, Friday afternoon when they got out of school, we went and we took them to one of those indoor water parks, and we had real genuine family fun. And then when we got back Saturday evening, we just dealt with the business. And normally we try to do the orders as they come in, but we said it's okay if they stack up overnight, and just enjoy ourselves with our family for a while.
We can learn from successful entrepreneurs or brands. Tell us a brand or a business that's dominating in the market now that you admire, and why.
A brand that is dominating. I would have to say the True Products. Like I said, one of the founders of that is one of our family friends, but I've just been following them for a while, and to see the reach that they've been able to obtain thus far has really been amazing. They've gotten mentions from like celebrities saying that they use it, and I'm just like, that's amazing. Like, it's an everyday product that is manufactured and made by Black veterans in Atlanta. And like, to be able to replace my laundry detergent with a product that was manufactured by a person that looks like me, I just think that's an amazing thing.
And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I had spoken with a gentleman because I was going to just ask you if the True Products, if they are in Atlanta. And I believe they're kind of one of the guys that's in the business. He's a little older.
Mm-hmm.
Is that correct?
Yes, there's three gentlemen. I don't know their exact age, but yes, I know one is a little older than the one that I have a personal relationship with. Yes, ma'am.
Right. And the only reason I mentioned that, and so we're giving a shout out to True Products in Atlanta. I did chat with them, and we were in touch, and they were supposed to be on the show. So hopefully we can connect. And they talked about the detergent that they were doing. So that is amazing. And they are such an inspiration.
Yes, they are.
Intisar, can you tell us a daily or a weekly habit that you do consistently that has given you the greatest success?
Yes, definitely. I pray every day, 5 times a day I pray. That's one of the things that keeps me grounded and balanced is just acknowledging a higher power and just going from there.
And thank you for sharing that. One of the major questions that people like to know is about financing your business. How did you go about financing your business?
We actually financed our business through my husband's, I don't know what you call it, but like his retirement fund. Through his job, you're allowed to like essentially take a loan from yourself and then you pay yourself through your paycheck monthly or weekly, however you get paid. So that's how we were able to fund our business thus far. It was actually, again, it's a blessing for us to have been able to do that instead of having to take out an actual loan from a financial institution. It was just like you borrow your own money, essentially.
Right. So that, like, if you have a 401
Yes, ma'am.
B, for those that are listening that may not be familiar with that, so you can take money from your 401k plan or 401b if you're in education, and you can pay it back and not be penalized. But if you're under 59 and a half, if you're 59 and a half and older, you can take the money out and not be penalized. But if in fact you are younger than that and you take it out, you're not penalized as long as you pay it back. But if you don't pay it back, you are penalized.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Meaning from the IRS, you're penalized. So I just like to clarify for the audience because they're like, what are they talking about?
Yeah. Thank you for clarifying that because I wasn't exactly sure of what it was called. I just knew, I was like, oh, this is a wonderful opportunity and that we were able to take advantage of that. So
Absolutely. That 401k and 401(b), I believe it's called. It's a great plan, especially if your employer is matching that.
yes, ma'am.
Talk about your top 2 influencers in your life and what lessons do they teach you?
Top 2 influencers are definitely going to have to be my mother and my father. They were just a wonderful team growing up, and for me and my siblings to be able to witness that. My mother was a full-time home provider, like she was there with us, and my father he worked full-time in his business. So to see that dynamic, for her to be able to be there for us for all of our needs, but my father also to be there for us for all of our financial needs. It was wonderful to witness and to see how they work together, the teamwork that they implemented in our lives. They're definitely who I looked up to.
What are you reading right now?
Right now, the only thing I'm reading currently right now we're Monday marked the first day of our holy month. I'm Muslim, the month of Ramadan. And as part of our practices for our Ramadan is to read our holy book. So it's divided into 30 sections and our holy month is 30 days. So every day we are to read a section of it. So it's just a great time for me to sit down in solace and read and learn and find different little keys or nuggets that I may not have noticed any other time, but things that just stick out to you, things that I was supposed to read and latch on to this year. They differ every year.
What have you not done in life that you dream about often, Intisar?
I definitely, I love to travel. This is something that I didn't really know until I had children, but I love to travel. So I definitely want to travel more. It's something I dream about. I plan many trips for us, from anywhere from going to I don't know, Jekyll Island is a place that I went to as a child, and I'm like, oh, I want to take my kids there, to all the way wanting to take my kids to Tanzania. One of my dream trips is for our whole entire family. Like, I would love to visit the continent of Africa. More specifically, I want to definitely go to Tanzania. I want to go to Ghana. I want to go to Senegal. But one of my things is I want to go and I want us to all experience this at the same time. And so that's going to take quite a bit more planning for all five of us to go at once. But I think that would just be an amazing experience for us to all experience going back and just being there together as a family.
What is something that we should know about your industry that we don't know as consumers?
About my industry, I'm not sure. It's pretty self-explanatory. There's one thing that I didn't realize until we got into this business is the amount of people that have latex allergies. Initially, we got quite a few inquiries when we first launched on whether or not our products were latex free. And our wonderful manufacturer, they did a very thorough testing, I guess, and this is maybe they know this because they're in the business of manufacturing medical goods and products. They did a very thorough testing for us and they gave us all of our findings, and so we're able to provide that to any of our consumers to ensure them that our product will not agitate them, because there's actually quite a few people out there who have severe, like life-threatening latex allergies that I just never knew that was a thing.
And see, that is a huge value bomb because I did not know that. You know, we're just so used to grabbing a Band-Aid and putting it on and thinking nothing of it.
Exactly.
Thanks for sharing that information. And if there's someone out there that has that problem, they would definitely know to ask that prior to putting that on their body.
Yes, ma'am.
If someone spent a whole day with you, Intisar, what would they learn?
I'm just a regular wife and mother that, just like any other wife or mother, does what she has to do to get things done that need to get done. I wake up early in the morning. On my best mornings, I wake up and exercise. My not so great mornings, I don't. I get my children up, I get them ready for school. I mentioned before, I have a wonderful support system. I'm able to drop my children off to my mother in the morning, and she takes them to school for me because I have to go to work so early, because I prefer to get off earlier so that I have more times in the evening and afternoon to spend with my children. So yeah, they will be surprised to learn how everyday regular I am, that I'm not doing anything special. If you have an idea, like, just move on it. Anybody can do this. And if there's anything that I can do to help anyone, like, feel free to reach out to me. Like, it's just a wonderful feeling to know that your dream is coming to fruition and that you're actually taking charge of your own destiny.
And talk about your legacy. When it's all said and done, how do you want to be remembered?
I hope my children remember me fondly and they forget about those days when, I'm a little agitated or tired, where I may raise my voice. So I hope that the happier and more fond memories that we've had together are what lasts for them.
If you conducted this interview, what is the one question that you would have asked yourself? And I want you to ask the question and answer it.
What I ask myself is, would you do it again? Like, through, the ups and the downs, whatever, like, would you do it again? Would you do the same thing? Because I actually recall asking my husband this not too long ago, because we were having the discussion of having, like, building up that thicker skin, being able to take the good and the bad. And I asked him, I said, would you do this again? And so that's what I would ask myself. Would I do it again? And my answer would be yes. Like, this has been an incredible learning experience for us. It's been a bonding opportunity for my whole family when we go on these vending trips together. And when my husband and I are vending, like, side by side and being able to spend that time engaging with our customers. So yeah, I would ask myself, would I launch this same business again? Would I take this same route? And my answer is yes, I definitely would.
And Intisar, thank you so much for sharing, being so authentic and just sharing your heart, because I think about being married for going on 28 years, and you have to know your spouse and you have to know if it would work. And I know for us, even though we're great mates, business partners, I don't think that we could be. So I just commend you that you can see that you've gotten the whole family involved. It's a family affair and everyone is working so well together. So thank you for sharing that amazing journey. And we know that the best is yet to come for you and your business.
I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to share our journey thus far. And I appreciate your time and thank you.
And before we conclude, we have the Fun Facts Lightning Round. And I'm going to ask you a series of questions, and I'd like you to give us very quick answers. And if there's something you desire not to answer, feel free to say pass. Are you ready for the Fun Facts Lightning Round?
I am.
The last movie you saw?
Avengers Endgame.
You relaxed doing what?
Hanging out with my husband and my kid.
Your favorite singer or rapper?
I'm stuck in like 90s R&B, so I don't have one particular one, but that just whole era of 90s R&B.
Your favorite dance song?
All the silly children's songs that my kids listen to.
What food you eat every week, no matter what?
Probably pizza. My whole family loves it.
And your favorite month?
My favorite month is going to be February. That's the month that I was born. And coincidentally, it's also the month my husband was born.
Excellent. Before we let you go, why don't you share with our audience what is the best way for them to connect with you and your brand? Give us all your social media handles, and those that would like to purchase your product, share with them how they could purchase your products.
Okay. To purchase our products, you can visit our website at www.browndages.com. Our social media handles on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter are all the same. It's just at Browndages. Feel free to reach out. We are very responsive. We love hearing and getting feedback from our customers and suggestions on what other products they may like us to start to carry. So yes, definitely feel free to reach out to us. I can be reached via email at info@browndages.com.
Thank you so much. That concludes our interview. It's a wrap. And if there's anything that we can do to support your business, don't hesitate to reach out.
Alrighty. Thank you so much for your time and for giving our brand the spotlight of your show.
You're welcome. That's a wrap.
Thank you for listening and subscribing to Black Entrepreneur Experience. We would love for you to leave a review and rating on iTunes and share with your friends. For show notes and more episodes, go to www.beepodcast.com. Join us next Wednesday, and remember, green is the new black. So keep your bank accounts and your business in the black.